Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Pro Seller Talk. My guest today is Jim Cochran. I've known Jim Cochran since the 90s. We go way back where Jim had his very first auction on eBay when he did Silent Sales Machine and Offline Biz, and we were the very first winners of that. And then that's how our relationship got built. As far as from that day on, we just built a business together, got to know each other's families, spent time in CESs and other places around. Even up in Indiana at Jim's place and things like that. So I'm not going to take too much time here to introduce him. You guys are coming in, I see. I want to let Jim get started. And if you guys have any questions, fire into the chat, and I'll make sure that I get those questions out and that Jim is able to get them and answer them for you. So again, guys, welcome. And without any further ado, let's say hello to Jim Cochran.
Hey, evening, everybody. Leave us some comments if you can hear us okay. And yeah, thanks for the invite, man. I haven't used this platform a whole lot, this Hangout thing. So honored to be here. Thank you, sir. And looking forward to answering whatever questions everybody has about online business, my business, your business. Try to stump the panel tonight. We're going to just talk about, one of the themes that I had in mind was why I believe right now is the best time in human history to have an online business. You still there, buddy? I just got a black screen. Oh, okay, cool.
I'm doing something, so while I do that, I just want to make sure that
I got you.
I get
Well, see, I'm new to this webinar, to the Hangout platform anyway. So cool. Yeah, I'm seeing some comments popping in here. Hey, somebody over there. Hey, we got in a little trouble because we were late. Sorry about being late, guys. Sorry. Very sorry. We'll make up for it with great content. But can you guys hear us okay? Just leave us a comment over there if you're hearing good, average, poor. How's the sound and audio, video quality? Someone's saying they're unable to hear anything still.
Yeah, I'm letting them know if they can't hear or see us to get over to YouTube, so I'm posting that link.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm doing that right now so they can actually see that. Posting a link in the chat right now so they can have that.
Muffled.
Right,
all
just
good.
About with that.
Someone said it's all good. Yep. So I've got a nice, strong internet signal here. I'm thinking I should be coming through. There we go. There's a link for YouTube. You can go watch us there. Cool.
Yep, you can see it right there if they're having any trouble. What happened is YouTube about a month ago now actually did some things to mess with Webinar Jam so that you can't see the chat and things like that. And some people, obviously you're seeing them in the chat, so they fixed it, but not everybody's aware of it and has gone in and fixed and done the changes that you're supposed to do with Webinar Jam. So we're going to sit here. I'm going to run the back end while Jim's here and talking. And any questions that come across, we're going to try to get to as many questions as we can while we have Jim here and get you the information you need.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm here to serve you guys. Whatever I can do to be of service tonight. I'm super excited with Q4 coming up. We just had our live event, which just rocked. It was awesome. Sorry you couldn't be there, John. Missed your whole crew this time, man. But that was beautiful. Sales on Amazon have never been better. Sales on eBay have never been better. I'm excited about the PPI strategy, and maybe we can talk a little bit about Amazon keywords if you guys want to talk about that. We're discovering some incredible things there. What else? The sky's the limit. We can talk about anything. And someone said the sound was great now, so keep giving us that feedback. I think we got it figured out, though. But yeah, you tell me, John. I mean, this is your show, dude. How can I be of service to you and your audience tonight? I'll talk about just about anything. Got a podcast coming out soon. I'm excited about that. I know I wouldn't mind hearing an update on your business. I know your prep and ship center is blowing up. You guys.
Yeah, we kind of have, and we just did another expansion too. I just took over some more property, and actually looking at right across the street from us, I'm actually in negotiations with the bank right now. Everything looks like it's going through. We're looking at purchasing about 67 acres right next to us to eventually build. We're looking at building other things like our storage side of our business is taking off, and our e-commerce side of the business is really taking off, where we ship things for eBay and Walmart and Jet and those type of platforms, and we're doing really well with that with our pick and pack and sending it in. A lot of people don't even realize that Amazon, you can still merchant bill at Amazon if it's a if they allow you to list it and it's a
Yeah.
restricted item, we can still send it to your customers.
Yes, right. It opens up a whole new set of categories and products. And yeah, and even for people who don't live in the United States, you can be their merchant fulfillment center, basically. Merchant fulfill. If they sell products merchant fulfill, they're sitting on your shelf. That's brilliant. You guys are so cutting edge. I think you guys were the first prep and ship center too, weren't you? The first one I was aware of anyway.
Yeah, they call us the grandfather ones because we've been around for so long.
You've been doing it a long time.
Everything we've done now, we've gone software based too. So we've made it a lot easier where basically what happens is all they have to do is put their items into their Amazon seller account and take the ASIN numbers and put them over into our software with the quantities, and that's it. And to take it even one step further, we're already prepared even with a piece of new software that we have for the box content that's coming up in November. We've already rolled that out, and we're beta testing right now. So by November 1st, we're going to be good to go with that piece too. So
That's
we
great.
just keep evolving as we need to.
Yeah, you guys are very cutting edge. You've always been leaders of the pack from my vantage, excuse me, from my vantage point. So congratulations on that. But well, let's get some topics or some questions or something going on here. I can't even tell. I think I'm seeing the chat here. I'm seeing.
Yeah, I see the chat. I'm looking to see you guys. Now's the time if you guys want to start posting some questions for Jim. We'll get these questions to him and get them answered. Otherwise, Jim and I are just going to have a chat.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine too, man. It's been a while. We need to get caught up. So, well, what do you want to talk about, buddy? Until a good question pops in, you tell me.
Well, I think the topics that we need to hit on right now is, like you said, Q4. People coming into Q4, a lot of them are panicking about brand restrictions. I mean, that's a topic.
Right. Okay.
The review thing, people are panicking about the review. I've had people tell me, with the brand restrictions, they're just not going to do retail arbitrage anymore. And I just think that's crazy because there's so many different things that you can do.
It's crazy. We're spending thousands of dollars a week on retail arbitrage right now, as are, I would estimate, thousands of people in our community are spending a lot of money on retail arbitrage. It's not going anywhere. Retail arbitrage has been here from day one, and it will always be here. It's not going anywhere. It's as long as we have free markets, we will have retail arbitrage. And I've been saying that for 10 years. Every time people say, "Oh, the sky is falling." I mean, we had this with eBay 10 years ago. We had people saying, "Well, everyone knows how to sell on eBay now. Game's over. Everyone knows how to do it." No, they don't. The rough number is about 7% of all retail sales are happening online now. The other 93% are still happening out there at brick and mortar buildings. People get in their car and drive around. This is in its infancy. Now, I'm not saying Amazon will always be exactly the way Amazon is right now. No, of course not. I mean, that's obvious. eBay and Amazon and Jet and Walmart and all these other platforms, they're going to be changing constantly. New rules, tightening the screws, loosening the screws, frustrating sellers, creating huge opportunities for sellers. That's just the way the game's played. I mean, you got to be flexible. If you want things to stay the same, the way they always are, you need to be like a, high school math teacher or something. I mean, that's the job where it's pretty much the same thing every time. With Amazon and eBay, dude, no, it's different every month to month. And every 6 to 8 months, we see this. For the last 12 years, every 6 to 8 months, we see this. Oh no, the sky is falling. There's a new rule, a new policy. And it always just washes out where it's pretty much business as usual a couple months later because the opportunity's there. I think the thing people forget, as us as sellers, we forget this sometimes, John, is it's not Amazon driving the show. It's not you and I as sellers driving the show. It's the consumers. And they like finding a good, big variety of products. They want a big variety and they want good prices and they want rapid delivery. And whoever can give that to them, that's where they're going to shop, be it Amazon, eBay, or somewhere else. Right now it's Amazon. But if Amazon starts saying, whoa, no one's allowed to sell Nike except Nike. Well, guess what happens to the prices of Nike on Amazon? It shoots through the roof. All of a sudden, customers don't buy Nike on Amazon anymore. They buy it somewhere else. So be ready to go to those new platforms because the price isn't set by the corporate brands. The price is set by supply and demand, which is the consumers. How much do they want this product? If the price is too high and there's better deals on eBay, eventually the crowds will go there. So I'm not worried about brand restrictions at all. It's irrelevant to me. And keep in mind as well that there isn't one of us as a seller on Amazon, not one of us, who's restricted on more than 0.001% of all possible product we could be selling. So if you're going to freak out over 0.001% of the restrictions that Amazon has now, this is the wrong game for you. You know, I'm happy with 99.99% of all available products on the planet being available to me to sell at Amazon. That's pretty cool. Now, if they're coming in and saying there's only 50% of all product is now locked down, well, one thing, customers would vanish quickly. So there'd be another platform popping up. But they're not doing that. These restrictions are minor. They're no big deal. It's full steam ahead. There's 50 creative solutions to every problem. We have people, for example, they're restricted now, like Nike or Lego or something. It popped up all of a sudden. Well, there's a lot of people who aren't restricted. Partner up, dude. Partner up with somebody who can sell it and split the profits. Partnerships get you out of nearly every sticky situation you'll ever be in this business. So you need to know people. You need to make connections like John and I. If there's something I could do to bail him out of a predicament, I would in a heartbeat. He'd do the same for me. It's because we know each other. We trust each other. We could just do a verbal agreement right now and just say, yeah, 40% to you, 60% to me, or vice versa. Boom, done, do it. Email back and forth a couple times. We've started a new business venture. You need those kind of people in your life. So that's me ranting a little bit about, Amazon's restrictions, and you could use that same argument for any of the restrictions, guys, or any of the new policies. None of this is panicking me at all. And the people have been taking your advice, John, and taking the kind of advice we teach around here as well, the inch deep, mile wide, instead of going all in. There's a lot of people panicking today about the reviews too. Happy to talk about that as well. Like they can't give away product in exchange for reviews now. Well, I'm not worried about that at all. We've never taught people to go an inch wide and a mile deep, meaning go all in and buy 30,000 units of one widget and hope that you can market your way out of that hole. That's silliness. Don't do it. There's some courses that teach that. I never will. I never have, because that's just unnecessary risk. We teach inch deep, mile wide. And as you find proven products, well, you can go a little deeper in that product and slowly and steadily, a little deeper, a little bit at a time, and find multiple platforms where you can move that product and start growing your audience and growing the mailing list using Shopify, using some creative Facebook marketing, maybe grow a list of customers. So if Amazon ever says, here's a slap, nope, you can't sell here anymore on that product. Well, you've got a website, you've got an email list, you've got a Shopify site. So don't go so deep and rely on Amazon only or eBay only for one product line. We've never taught people to do that. Those are the people who are a little panicked today, but not in our community. I've literally had no one call our coaching team or post anything to me or send me an email panicked about the new feedback restrictions, because we simply just don't teach people to use those strategies. It's dangerous and risky, and we've never taught people to do it that way. So there's the latest, my take on the latest two big panic issues. Did I miss anything?
Yeah, I think that you hit on a great point too about the partnerships. And I think a lot of people don't realize there's categories that you're not ever going to get into. Like hazmat is a real hard one to get in, but there's nothing stopping you from partnering with somebody and selling in hazmat and splitting the profits with them. I know someone that does it personally, and it's a win-win for everybody, because they find a product that they couldn't find, they split it, and they both win.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things you could do with those type of things.
If you can find profitable inventory and you have that skill set, or you better yet, you have a team that's good at that, there will always be a way to move that inventory. Always, always, always. It doesn't matter what restrictions Amazon or eBay throws at you. If you've got $5 widgets and the public is willing to pay $50, you're going to be fine. You can find a partner, you can find a new platform, you can wait, you can put it in storage until the rules change. I mean, you've got all kinds of options. You can move it to another country. And come on, some restrictions here are not restricted in other places. Go international. I saw Barrington's on here, right? Go international. Send it to Europe. Maybe they don't even have that restriction there, and it's a hot product there too. The worst thing you can do is just become inactive and panic and start saying, well, you just sit and worry and you think and you contemplate. No, you got to keep moving forward, keep seeking out partnerships, be creative. There's always a creative solution. We've been doing this for 15 years now, and I've never once found a scenario that someone dropped on our desk and we said, well, Yeah, there's no options here. Sorry, you're just out of luck. You just lost all that money that you put into that inventory. Game over. You should just quit and go on welfare. Sorry, there's no options for you. That's never happened. Never, not once, with thousands and thousands of students and thousands of scenarios. So be creative. Keep plowing forward. Someone's asking about it. Someone asked what PPI is. I don't know. Is that okay if I talk about that a little bit? It's actually part of our Proven Amazon course, but I don't know how much time. If you want to transition over to keyword stuff, I could teach people a little bit about keywords tonight if you want. Not pitching
we'll
any courses.
PPI. We can go to PPI in 1 second. That's fine. I just want to. Ada came in real quick here, and she said that I think right, if it is restricted, you can still sell it merchant fulfilled. What I meant by that is if you have it on Amazon and it's been restricted, they'll allow you to sell it merchant fulfilled. You may not be able to send it in again, but they do. We've had some clients that have been allowed. Now, it could be a case-by-case thing, too, because Amazon's very touchy on what they do and what you can't do. So I'm just saying that it's just another avenue for you to be able to list it. When I'm talking about merchant fulfill it, I'm not talking about Amazon merchant fulfill it. I'm talking about if you have a listing on there and you're able to just list it and not send it to Amazon, we can merchant fulfill it.
Yeah, there's some occasions where you can only use FBA to sell products, like toys around Christmas time, if you're new, right? And there's some instances where you can only merchant fulfill and they won't accept an FBA. Like if you're selling pool tables, if you wanted to send Amazon, 100 pool tables right now and you're a new seller, they're not going to take them. You can list them merchant fulfilled if you want. That's fine. So it's a case-by-case, product-by-product, individual-by-individual experience. And that opens up so many opportunities for partnerships, creative partnerships. So I'll just keep emphasizing that, man. That is the key. That is the secret. I don't care what business you're in. Creative partnerships get you out of every sticky situation and open up all kinds of opportunities. And as internet marketers, sometimes we're guilty of just sitting behind our keyboards and trying to figure it out on our own. No, don't do that. You've got to be building relationships. And that's been the key, the secret to all of my success. I am not the smartest guy in the room ever. I love surrounding myself with people who are smarter than me, have more creative ideas than I do. And just that synergy that we form. I've got the experience, so maybe the guy that's been doing it the longest, but that doesn't mean I'm the guy with all the answers or the most creative. It just means I've figured out surrounding myself with really smart people is a really smart way to build a business. So that's what I do. That's what our team is. It's up over 100 people now. And I have them solve problems for me all the time. I don't even try to figure out most of the stuff myself. I'll just post it out to my leadership team. Say, hey guys, what do you think of this? Help me out. Tear this one apart. Give me your best ideas. And they solve the problem for me. It's a beautiful thing.
I think the other thing that, before we go into PPI, I think that I would like to talk about, and I think people need to understand, is that Amazon is just one platform. And that, Jim, you're the master when it comes to having multiple sources of income. And I think people need to kind of think out of the box and not put themselves in that box of just Amazon alone and start to think at the other platforms. I know for the longest time you sold on real well. I think with this brand restriction thing, I think eBay is going to make a comeback. I think they're going to have to be able to put it somewhere, and eBay is going to be one of those platforms.
You've got to watch the customer experience. Just keep an eye on the customer experience, and that'll tell you where things are heading. If the buyers are inconvenienced, or if the buyers are being forced to buy from fewer sellers. See, if you think about it, if you're a buyer and you want to go buy a widget, you'd rather walk into a scenario where there's 50 people trying to sell you that widget than a scenario where there's 2 people trying to sell you that widget. Why is that? Well, because if there's only 2 people, that means you're probably going to see a higher price and lower availability and fewer options. Okay, so as Amazon starts putting in restrictions and saying, well, there's only one person allowed to sell this item, and it's us. That's it. Well, the price is going to creep up. The customers aren't going to like that experience. They're not going to have the options that they want. And as much buying as Amazon is doing, they will never be as good at buying. I mean, here's the analogy, John. Think of Uber making a change tomorrow and saying, guess what, everybody? Everyone knows what Uber is, right? It's that, you get that app on your phone and you can have a car wherever you are in a few minutes because people are using their car to drive others around. It's outsourcing transportation. Well, imagine if Uber made an announcement tomorrow and said, you know what? the only drivers we're ever going to use are now employees. They have to come to our headquarters and be trained. We're basically going to become a big taxi organization. That would end their business model. That would be stupid. They're going to buy all these cars and hire all these employees. No, same thing with Amazon, guys. Amazon's not going to say tomorrow, well, we're done using you buyers out there in the field. You guys are great at finding these bargains and putting them on our site. We're done using you guys. We're going to go find all our own stuff now. It would completely destroy their business model. We are, us as the third-party sellers, we are a majority of the selling that's happening on their site. And if they're smart, they'll continue to cater to us. But they've revealed a business model here that others will be getting into. Amazon will have competitors. And if eBay's smart and figures out a way to do it, that's awesome. It may be another platform. I don't know. It may be specialty sites. I don't know. But if you're good at finding inventory, you are going to be fine the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. This is in its infancy. So I'm all in this business model. Retail arbitrage is not dead. It's in its infancy, and it's going to be huge. Online arbitrage is not dead. It's in its infancy, and it's going to be huge. So I'm all in on both. And every time someone says, oh, it's dying, sky's falling, I just laugh because I know a few weeks later, like I said earlier, smooth sailing again. So, nothing to panic about that I've seen on the horizon or that's happened so far. I'm only seeing positive signs.
Yeah, I am too. The only thing that I see, especially from a fulfillment point, is when you've got people buying large bulk from these online places, like Target and some of these other places, where they're restricting the product going to fulfillment centers because they know you now, and they don't want their product being sold by third parties. So
that's the game. And then you guys roll out a new address, right? You trick them for a while, and then So I mean, that's the game. That's how the game is played. The business of moving goods means stuff's going to be moving. It's like blood. It's like money. If it's not moving, it's useless. Inventory is the same way. The velocity of inventory, you got to keep it moving. And if you hit a dead end, you turn around and you move it somewhere else, but you keep it moving. If there's widgets on a shelf at Walmart for $5 and somehow Amazon or Walmart says, no, you can't do that anymore. You know what? I'm going to be more creative than they are, and I'm going to figure out a way to move them. If customers are willing to pay $50 for those $5 widgets, I will figure it out. I will get around whatever obstacles they put in my way. Nothing gets between the consumer and their deal. That's my job. I'm serving my customers. When the rules say you can't serve your customers, throw out the rules and serve your customers every single time. I'm not saying break laws, but none of this stuff we're talking about is laws. We're talking about rules, silly rules in a lot of cases. You bend those rules, you break those rules, you go around the rules, you ignore the rules. You don't put your account at risk ever, but you find a creative way to serve the customer every time.
Absolutely. So we've got that gentleman who wants to know about PPI. So we can go into that a little bit about PPI. I know that's your Brett and your baby that you guys have.
I won't go real far into it, but basically it's a very simple concept, but the longer you've been selling physical products online, the more complicated it sounds when I say it. But if you're brand new, green, and you've never sold anything online before, it makes total sense the first time I explain it. Because basically what it requires is a mind shift. You go from looking for profitable products to sell, which is what we're all doing all day, every day, and what we have been doing since the eBay days, if you've been around more than 8-10 years, looking for profitable products constantly, right? Well, you stop that. You continue doing that if you want, but that's not what PPI is. With PPI, you start looking for demand, pockets of demand, where there's no product. See, I saw an article just a couple days ago where people are using Amazon the way they use Google as a search engine. So let's see if this resonates with you guys. People will get on Amazon, and like you and I, John, we shop on Amazon. We're smart. Like we get the product number of the product we're looking for, and we put in the exact name of the product we're looking for, and up comes those products. Like we know the more specific you are, the more likely you are to get the product you're looking for. And we assume that's how everyone uses Amazon. They don't. There are a lot of people out there. And I use my wife as my testing on this. She shops on Amazon quite a bit. We buy quite a bit from there. And from time to time, she'll be on there. She'll be using Amazon like it's a search engine. she'll be looking for something creative. So this isn't a phrase that she's used, but let's just use this as an example. Let's say I need birthday party ideas for a 9-year-old. I might go to Amazon if I don't know what I'm doing, which a lot of shoppers don't, and type in the phrase birthday party ideas for 9-year-old girls. What does that even bring up? Do you know? I don't. I just kind of pulled that one out of the air. But if you discover that there's a lot of people typing that phrase in every day, and that's what PPI, we tell you how to go in and set up a keyword that matches those key phrases. And then Amazon will tell you, hey, guess what? There's a lot of people every day typing in that phrase that you're paying for. You pay a few pennies per click. So you spend $5, you get all this data from Amazon, and they tell you, wow, there's 1,000 people per week typing in that magic phrase. We call them golden gaps. Because once you discover a phrase that a lot of people are using and there's really no specific product tied to it, you set up your own product that matches that phrase. So remember, we weren't searching for product from the beginning of this. We're searching for phrases that are getting a lot of activity on Amazon. So let's say we discover that phrase, birthday party ideas for 9-year-old girls. Well, why not create a bundle package and make that the title? Great birthday party ideas for 9-year-old. If you find 9, or maybe it's 10-year-old, or maybe you say just girls. Great birthday party ideas for little girls. And you put together a bundle bag, and it's just great ideas for birthday party. And I don't know what your product will be. It's kind of irrelevant. Because see, if you match the exact phrase that people are searching for, you're going to be number one. If you're the only person on Amazon who has a product listing that matches the phrase that a lot of shoppers are using, you'll be number one. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You don't have to pay for that number one spot. And we've learned over time that 10% of all shoppers will buy the top thing that shows up on Amazon when they're shopping, if it's remotely related to what they're looking for, right? So free exposure, moving a product now that no one else can touch because it's your own unique bundle. And this isn't just about bundles. We've discovered Brett's team. I mean, he has 70 people now doing this full time. This is all they do is PPI. This strategy that we're talking about right now, where they search for keyword phrases and then go find a matching product, which is easy to do. And you can even mix in name brands together. So you can have these very popular name brands that you know people are searching for and create a phrase out of that. Like, just to pull one out of the air, I don't even know if anyone's using this or not, but Xbox gift set. Just to pull that up, just throwing it out there. I've never tested it. Someone should. Xbox gift set. Now, most people, when they're searching for an Xbox, just type in Xbox, right? But there are probably some people, that word gift or holiday or ideas or birthday ideas, those kind of add-on phrases are huge. And if you buy that phrase from Amazon and run a test ad, Amazon will tell you how many people are using that phrase. And always use exact match keyword phrases. I will tell you that. And I don't want to go too deep in the weeds here because I know I'll start to lose people. But when you're buying Amazon ads, paid ads, always use exact match. Not general match, but exact match. You don't want Amazon deciding if they think it's a close enough match to show your ad. You want exact match statistics, okay? And Amazon will tell you exactly how many people are using that phrase every day. And then you just fill up. You might brainstorm 100 different phrases around a certain product that you're trying to generate. And yes, you will have to send one of those products in when you first start doing your search because you can't run an ad on a non-existent product. So you'll have to buy one and send it in. But you can test. We've got products that we're testing all kinds of keyword phrases on just to see what's popular and see what phrases are popular. And if we find a phrase that doesn't quite match the product that's popular, well, we'll change the product. What we're looking for is a good keyword phrase. So hopefully that helps people. Where this is being recorded, go back and listen to it. You can go to the PPI website, which maybe, John, in the post-show notes, maybe you can post I'd love to give you some credit, man. Post your link over to PPI, and so people can research that more, and John will have that link for you guys. He'll post it along with this video afterwards, because I want to give him some credit if you guys end up checking that out. Let's see. Oh, someone likes what I said about PPI. Awesome. You're going to... Seriously, this is a completely different way to look at Amazon. But once you realize people are using Amazon, like a search engine instead of a shopping destination, it opens up so much opportunity. It's mind-blowing. Some of the keyword phrases that people are using every day, they have, you just be shocked the way people are using this site. And the best way to generate some of these phrases, again, is talk to people. Here's what I told my wife, and tell anyone that you know who shops on Amazon a lot, tell them this, okay? This is free, great advice. Say, anytime you're shopping on Amazon, I told my wife Andrea this, I've told several others this, and you type in a phrase because you're looking for a certain product, and the stuff that comes up on the screen on Amazon doesn't make any sense to the phrase that you just typed in, please, please, please tell me what that phrase was. Send me the exact search phrase, because I'm going to spend $5 and test that phrase and see if a lot of other people are using that phrase too and coming up disappointed. And if a lot of other shoppers are using that exact phrase and coming up disappointed every day, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a product or find a product or private label or go buy it off a shelf somewhere. I don't care. And create a bundle. The product is easy. Once you know there's a lot of people looking for that, I can mark the price way up. Because remember, 10% of the people who see that number one result, they're not price shopping. They don't care. It's number one, into the basket it goes. So I jack the price up, ridiculously high in some cases. People grab it, they buy it. It's all about hunting those keyword phrases, those golden gaps is what we call it, those unserved niche markets. So hopefully that's making sense. If you guys want to type out a question, I'm happy to help you or clarify. Or it can be a tricky concept for those of us who are used to hunting for products constantly. But we tell people who are into private label, for example, you are crazy to go out and buy thousands of units of anything until you've done keyword testing on that product, until you've discovered all the different phrases that people might be using to buy that product, and you've discovered which the most popular phrases are, and then you make your title of your listing on Amazon the most popular phrase for that product. It makes sense, right? So you're number one when people type it in to Amazon. So hopefully that's making sense, but that's keyword. That's how keywords work on Amazon. And when I say running ads, it's not complicated. If you've got an Amazon seller account, you could be running ads 10 minutes from now. It's not complicated because you don't have to write ad copy. There's no, like for those of you who came from the Google AdWords days, you had to create an ad and write some ad copy. No, all you do is say, Amazon, I want to run this keyword phrase. And they say, okay, what product do you want to point it at? In your inventory, which product? You say, okay, I'm going to run this phrase, and I want it to point at that product. Done. You got any more phrases? Yeah, this phrase, this phrase, this phrase. How much are you willing to bid per day? In a lot of cases, we just typically say like $2, but Amazon never charges you that much. It's usually anywhere from 10 cents to 50 cents, maybe at the high end. And every once in a while, you will find these golden nuggets, these keyword phrases where there's thousands of people a week using that phrase, and it costs you 2 cents per click. Find a product for that. I don't care what the phrase is. Go find a product. You just found a golden nugget. It's costing you 2 cents a click. You can match that in your title, and you can have a paid ad up in the top right-hand corner. So you've got the number one spot on top of Amazon for that search result, and you got a paid ad off to the right. Your sales shoot through the roof when that happens, and you're paying 2 cents a click. Those opportunities, there's millions of them out there, guys. That's why we're so jazzed about PPI. It's nuts, the opportunities out there.
And you're right. And the thing about PPI, about that, reverse sourcing thing, is it's not something new. It's always been there. It's just a lot of people weren't aware of how that works. And my son's a testimonial to what you're talking about, because we started private labeling 2015. Last year, we ended up with probably total sales of 500,000 something on Amazon. This year, because we're doing exactly what you're talking about, finding those keywords and finding what people are searching for and how they're searching, and that other people are not finding them because assuming that they're trying to search different ways, or assuming that what they think people are going to search for is how they're searching is not. We're on pace to do 3 million this year. Huge step up. Huge step up from where we were. So if people don't think this type of thing works, it works. And like you said, I love what you said about, you don't just go through, even if what Jim's talking about, you guys decide to do this, you still go at it slow. You don't say, oh man, these phrases are there and I see what I'm getting results for these phrases. That doesn't matter. The results are there, but you want to test products. You never want to jump in just because the phrases say that this could be a winner. You want to make sure it's a winner and test before
Yes, sir.
you go and jump in. That's a
Yes.
key thing that we have to, let them know.
Slow and steady wins the race every single time. That's some of the best business advice you'll ever be given. And if you'll just take it, I'm a testament to that. We never go all in on some big opportunity. It's literally, it's so cool. That was one of the, basically the main point that I wanted to make tonight. Why right now is the best time in world history to start a business. Right now is the best time. And the reason, one of the big reasons is there's just no need to ever write a really big check, make a really big investment, put a ton of money on a credit card, mortgage your house, and then hope that it works out a few years from now. I mean, that's how all businesses started in the past. The vast majority of every business success story started something like that, even 15, 20 years ago. You just don't have to do it now. That's why I get so upset when I see courses that come out. They charge thousands of dollars, and then they're telling these people who are green and new to the internet, go buy $50,000 of inventory. Go get your widget, and then we'll help you market that widget. No, that's just such an unnecessary risk. I've never advocated that, and I never will. All the strategies we're talking about, I've never had any debt in my business. I've never needed to borrow money to keep my business going. I've met payroll every time without borrowing anything from anyone because we take slow and steady steps. I don't spend $5 on inventory till I know for a fact it's going to bring me $20 or $30 or $40 in the end. So we're not going out there wasting tens of thousands of dollars on guesses. There's just no need to guess. You don't have to. Do your homework and don't guess. You know all the information you need to know before you go even an inch deep. And then once it's proven, like you just said, John, you go a little deeper. You do your keyword research. You discover some new exciting keywords. You create some different bundles and timed keyword phrases. Now you're off to the races. Now you go a little deeper. And the customer demand is there. And you know exactly what you're going to sell next month because you know the demand curve. You're paying attention to the numbers. In Hebrew, numbers and wisdom are overlapping concepts, meaning until you tell me the numbers of a situation, I cannot apply wisdom to that situation. I've got to know the numbers. So if you don't know the numbers and you're just guessing based on instinct or a good feeling or a warm, fuzzy feeling or, wow, that guy was just very dynamic, I think I'm going to go with what he says. No, I need to see the numbers. I need to see proof. What I've been challenging people lately, John, is when they're talking about, I'm going to buy a course or I'm going to follow this guru or that expert, or I say the first question you need to ask is, show me the large active community online. It could be Facebook, it could be a discussion forum somewhere, but show me where all of their past successful customers are hanging out. I want to go there and hang out there for a month and just see what's happening. And if they don't have that, run. Because if it's not working for anybody and the customers aren't excitedly hanging out and encouraging each other, you don't want to be a part of what they're doing. And if they've been doing it a really long time, that's even better. That's even better because it says they're in this for the long term. So that eliminates 95% of the so-called experts out there, right? So don't listen to the flashy pie in the sky, latest big launch. The next big launch is coming. I don't know what it'll be, but I guarantee you this, 6 months after it launches, you'll be able to get it in a report, probably for free in our community or yours, John. I mean, there's not a whole lot of new, oh, wow, big flashy stuff happening out there. There just isn't. That's why we never charge more than a few bucks for the stuff that we do. Our prices are insanely reasonable for the value we pack in. And I know yours are too. It's, as a Mastermind student and as a partner with me, you guys reflect that as well. You guys charge a tenth of what you should and could be for the services and the courses and the things you develop. So kudos to you. Because we're developing success stories. That's how we measure our success. That's the kind of people I like working with. But I'm just kind of waiting for some good questions to pop in here. Let's see. Is it a PPI question be used on other platforms? PPI strategy used on other platforms? Maybe. But the reason it works so well on Amazon, is it Dimesso? Probably just total Dimesso projects. Oh, I think that's a business name. The reason it works so well on Amazon is because Amazon does tell you exactly how many people are typing in the phrases that you're paying for, your keyword phrases. Okay, so if you're on another platform and they are willing to reveal to you on their advertising platform how many people are typing in the phrase that you're trying to use every day, and how many people, at most platforms will tell you how many people are clicking, but you want to know how many people are typing it in, how many sessions, how many people are being exposed to your phrase because they're using it. That's what you want to know. That's where the magic is. So yeah, it could be, but it's working like gangbusters on Amazon. You've got to perfect it on Amazon first anyway, and then take these lessons other places. So hopefully that helps you on that question. But what else you got for me, John? What else you want to talk about, buddy?
So fourth quarter, and
yeah, there we go.
What do you foresee for fourth quarter? Do you see the market being saturated, people panicking? I mean, you made some good points about other platforms, and it's funny because what you just said with the review thing, where Amazon totally eliminated where you could do freebies and get reviews now. Today alone, 2 courses that are just coming out to teach you how to get around Amazon's review. So it's so funny, like you said, there's always going to be something coming out.
Yeah, don't buy a course that teaches you how to creatively get around Amazon's policies. Don't waste your time there. Here's why I'm excited. Let's do a little time travel here for just a minute and think back. Last year, the year before. I remember specifically at least the last 5 years, if not 6 years, about this time coming up, already happening, we were starting to hear doom and gloom stories about how horrible the Christmas shopping season was going to be this year. No one has any money. It's going to be terrible. Retailers are bracing for the worst. And then what happens every year? Every single year we set new sales records. I mean, it's laughable, right? I haven't heard those stories yet. Now, maybe they're coming. But I'm thinking we're going to have a pretty insane Q4. I'm thinking if you're not sending in inventory, it's not too late. I posted just today on Facebook, when is the best time to start an online business? There's only 2 times. 2 times are the best time to start an online business. The first one is a few years ago. The second best is today. And I don't care when you're watching this video. That's true, 100% true. But fortunately, as we're recording this, you still have several weeks to really take advantage of Q4. It's going to be a madhouse. There's going to be entire shelves full of stuff at Walmart that you can grab for $20 that's going to sell for 60 or 80 on Amazon. Promise you, multiple deals. And we're helping people get ready for that. We're training them, educating them on how to look for that. That's just one of 1,000 ways you can tap into. It's going to be insane. Sales are going to be nuts. So you've got to be moving physical product. This is my favorite business model. There's not a pessimistic bone in my body. I think it's going to be huge. We're jacking up our inventory levels. We're buying a ton of inventory right now. Making deals. My mom just today filled the entire back end. She's got a Toyota Sequoia, crammed it full of stuff. Made a relationship with a manager at a retail store. He's begging her to come back. He's got great deals. He's like, can you be my liquidator? Can you liquidate for me? Like, hey, if it's going to sell, if we can sell it for a profit, we'll take anything. He loves us now. This is just today. Filled the back of the car. Retail arbitrage. All kinds of incredible stuff. And I'm not going to see it or touch it ever. I'm going to get paid. She gets paid a percent. I've got my family over there working in the business, my oldest son and friends. I'm all in on this business, dude. So Q4, I'm excited. I think we're going to make probably 60% of our money for the year in our physical product sales business in the next 2.5 months, 3 months. It's coming. It's a reality. It's done in my book.
Jim, you still have that store that you guys opened up too? Are you still running that?
We do. We're not doing a lot of walk-in traffic yet. It's just that's a whole new adventure, but we will be. We're actually in Bargersville, Indiana, which is a suburb of Indianapolis. We've got a little thrift store, and we're taking walk-in traffic, I think, on weekends right now. It's my mom's baby to run that whole thing. They're staying so busy just turning over our inventory right now, though. that, we haven't had a lot of that, but sometimes you'll get into stuff. Part of this business is you'll get into stuff that's just hard to move. And we found a good way to liquidate it is to sell it to flea market guys or Craigslist or just local walk-in traffic, run a little store. And we're still figuring that model out, but there's people using it and being successful with it. And we hope to do it too. Just blow out, stuff that you were going to have to donate. Why not? Just mark it way down, see who comes in and grabs it. And then, in the end, you may have some stuff that you have to donate. But that just frees us up to buy a whole lot more stuff when we know that we've got a bunch of different ways that we can move that product in the end. But again, creative partnerships, maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, I just have an apartment. I can't do that. Well, with a creative partnership, you can. If you're using the Bullard service, you don't need to store this stuff in your garage. Give John and his team a call. They have shelves. They will be your storage facility. It's insanely inexpensive to use these prep and ship services. It saves you, it pays for itself if you think about it. If your time is worth more than $10 per hour, you should be using a prep service. And we need to be using it more ourselves. We're going to be using more and more prep services. That's part of it. We're starting to, my goal is just kind of overwhelm my team with so much inventory that they kind of start saying, yeah, we have to use a prep service because I don't want to hire 30 people to slap labels on stuff. Let's let someone who's really efficient at it do that instead, and let my team focus on finding inventory, which is where I make my money. And let you guys slap stickers. Let your crew slap stickers, John, on the stuff for us.
Yeah, we actually, like you, have a place now where we sell out of, and what we do is
I didn't know that.
We buy the trailer loads, the liquidation type stuff. And what we do is we take the stuff that's good, we send it to Amazon. What's not good, we are halfway decent but damaged boxes, we sell in the store. And besides that, what we have left over, we've already made it our profit. We send it to the local auction. We don't care what they do with it, and they just auction it up, and so it's a win-win for everyone.
I love it. You got your A, B, and C inventory, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Amazon, eBay, and Craigslist. That's what we call it, A, B, and C. But auction. That's beautiful, man. I love it. I didn't know you guys were doing that. So you get some. I'm curious, what kind of checks do you get from the auction house? Like, how's that working for you?
Well, they get like I think it's a 10% premium, or some of them a 20% premium.
Sure.
But like I said, usually if we bring it somewhere like that, we've already made our money. So whatever we get back after what they take, to us is just a bonus. We don't have to worry about it. It's money that we weren't counting on getting anything from. Because it was just something that we auctioned off. But you just, like you said, you'd be surprised what someone thinks is not good is someone else's treasure. It blows my mind what people do and how they're processing this product and looking at it and saying, for you and me, it may not be something that's worthy, but to them, they're like drooling over it, something that they were looking for.
Exactly. Yeah, well, there's always creative ways to move inventory. I'm getting some questions over here. I'm just popping through. It looks like a couple PPI questions. I'll just hit those real quick. Ben was asking if you run an Amazon ad on a product that you don't know. Your ad will not run if you don't have the buy box, Ben. You've got to have the buy box. Okay, so that answers that question. And if the PPI method, by definition, is not something you're going to do if there's already 30 other sellers on that item. Okay, it's a waste of time. You want to find stuff that there's not a lot of other sellers. That's why it's called a golden gap. It's a demand where there's no product that meets the demand. Okay, we go through into that. We go in depth into how to find those products, but they're everywhere. Think of it this way, guys. You may think that Amazon has every product known demand. They don't. I would guess they've got maybe 7 to 10% of every product known demand on their site. There is probably 85 or 90% of the stuff that's out there that people want that's not on Amazon yet. The gold mines are everywhere. There's just no need to get in the dirt and kick each other in the teeth with 50 other sellers on anything on Amazon. It's just not necessary. But you do need the buy box in order for your ad to run on Amazon. They're not going to charge you to sell someone else's product, in other words, if you're running a pay-per-click ad. Okay. Can you use any phrase when listing just to get the data? Oh, great question, Jimmy. So you're basically saying, hey, if I'm trying to sell widget X, can I use phraseology that has nothing to do with widget X and test that phrase on my widget? No, your keyword has to match, at least loosely match the phrase. for the data to be of any use and to avoid some trouble with Amazon. Now, when I say loosely, you can get pretty loose with it. You can test a lot of keyword phrases on a product because, again, you're not trying to sell products with keyword ads. And that's what a lot of people think the ads are there for. And that's how Amazon wants you to use them. But they'll take your money if you just want to test keyword phrases. So that's what I'm talking about, is testing these keyword phrases to see if it's popular or not. So that's a great question. Your keyword phrase that you're testing does need to at least loosely match the product that it's tied to. So hopefully that helps you. Someone just said they're completely lost. That's okay. I get it. This PPI stuff can be confusing. But you got to come at it from a brand new, green, I know nothing about selling products on Amazon perspective, and then it becomes easier. Instead of looking for products to sell, you're looking for demand where there is no product yet. Okay?
Yeah,
that's all we're talking about. Instead of looking for products, you're looking for demand. How do we identify demand? We find phrases that a lot of people are using that don't match any products on Amazon yet. And we teach you how to find those phrases. That's it. That's as simple as I can make it. Hopefully that makes sense to you as I'm saying it. But there's people every day sitting down using Amazon like it's Google, typing in phrases that lead them to a dead end. My wife used one just the other day. She typed in a phrase, and the products they brought up had nothing to do with what she had in her head when she typed in the phrase. And I said, that's gold. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go test that phrase, put up a product that matches what you were thinking, and see if a lot of other people are doing that too. And if they are, guess what? I'm going to sell a ton of that product. I'm going to be the only guy matching phrase that you and 1,000 other people per week are using. So that's as simple as I can make it. Someone said, can hear me now. Okay. I thought you were lost when you said lost Jim, as in you were confused. So I just gave a total break. What she was trying to communicate to me was she had lost my audio feed and now it's back. So all you missed was me misunderstanding your question, Ada, but hopefully that helped someone else. Maybe they jumped on late. And the more times I get practice explaining what PPI is, the better, okay? So fine with that. Looking for some questions. Welcome back, Ada. Sorry about the audio issues.
Don has a question, and we both are kind of been in this a little bit. He wants to talk about Mastermind group formation best practices, and we both know how effective those are.
Oh, man, your MMA group, dude, you guys are tearing it up. You guys have done some incredible stuff. Masterminds can be organic. They can be – I'm going to be spending some time with Dave Ramsey's organization here in a few weeks. I'm going down spending a full week with his high-level team, including Dave himself, and hanging out and studying how they form masterminds in their community, because I'm taking this super serious. It's something that's of high demand in my community. I want to roll out. It's going to roll out probably only to our coaching students. This isn't a sales pitch because we don't have it put together yet, but it is coming. But it can be very organic too. I know at CES, for example, our live event that you've been to, that's how the MMA group got started. 8 guys just said, hey, let's hang out and help each other out and meet on a regular basis and collaborate on projects. And, there's certain things mastermind groups can and can't do. And I have my opinions. Other people have their opinions. I don't think it makes for a great 8-way business partnership, for example, on all projects. That can be difficult to navigate. But for an accountability group, for ideas, for support, for collaboration when it makes sense, absolutely. Because again, lone wolves don't win in this industry. In any business, you just don't. So what's the best way to form? Don't look for people who are just like you. You want a mixed bag. Ideally, for example, when I form my mastermind group, which I'm forming now for my own personal support, I want to be, that's another reason I'm going down to Dave Ramsey's organization in Tennessee is someone's paid a decent chunk of change to hang out with other people who are willing to pay a decent chunk of change to be with people who understand business. I want to have a lawyer in my group. I want to have someone who has a physical retail store. They own it. Or, someone who sells cars for a living and they're super successful. Or, I want to be surrounded with people from completely different walks of life that can challenge me in different directions. I'm not looking for people who look just like me. I don't necessarily want that in my mastermind group. I don't necessarily want a bunch of people who are green and new. A lot of times when someone says, hey, we're forming mastermind groups, all the new people run in and say, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds great. This is awesome. Free education is what they've heard. Well, no, that's not an ideal mastermind group. An ideal mastermind group is we each bring unique, very powerful, creative success stories. And now we collaborate. If you're brand new to all of this, maybe a mastermind group isn't where you should be thinking. You should be thinking about improving your own success story, getting some coaching, building something that people say, hey, I want to be a part of that. Until you have something that people say, hey, I want to be a part of that, I don't know that you're the best fit for a mastermind group. And that maybe sound blunt or harsh, but I certainly wouldn't invite my 14-year-old or 13-year-old who doesn't have a business yet into my mastermind group. Well, why not? Well, he doesn't have business experience yet. He doesn't have a success story. He can't educate me forward. There's not things that he can teach me about business. Now, you may say, well, kids can teach us a lot, Jim. Yeah, I learn a lot from my kids every day. But as a mastermind group, where we're going to sit down and seriously tear each other's businesses apart and open ourselves up to each other. So those are some of my thoughts on mastermind. Ideally, I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. When there's a mastermind group put together, I want at least half the people in the room to be just mind-blowingly more successful than me. Now you've got a mastermind that you can get excited about. So make that a goal. That would be my advice if you're trying to form one. But there's something to be said for just hanging out with other people who are in the same scenario as you as well, just to encourage each other forward and to share little tips, that sort of thing. So it's kind of like we need more words in our vocabulary sometimes in the English language. Mastermind can mean many different things. It means different things to different people. So the mastermind group that I'm going to be a part of, that I'm willing to pay money to be in, I better be surrounded with people way smarter than me. That's my thought. So, and I know you have some other thoughts too, and we could probably talk to 10 people and they'll say 10 different things.
I think I agree a lot with being part of your one and only mastermind group. I know that the one thing that we got out of that was that we were able to critique each other. And I think being part of a mastermind group doesn't necessarily mean about brainstorming about, doing things together. It can also be about advice that are given by the other masterminds to help you grow your business. And I know that I got up in front of you and pretty much got beat up a little bit on things.
Yeah,
you told
right.
You told me to take action and all these things. And look at me now, 2 years later, you found out real quickly of me being part of that mastermind group when you guys told me I need to take action in these things. In groups or any group that you're in, if you're going to be in a group, don't be in a group just to sit by and just listen. Be in a group to take action, because those are the ones you want to be with. The people that take action are going places, whether they be diversified in different areas. You're going to grow and grow tremendously by learning from each other's strengths and weaknesses. And that's what we did in that group.
Yeah, those were really good times. And you look back, I've only done the paid mastermind thing one time, but I'm just thinking back through. I mean, Mike of Death Wish Coffee, right? I mean, his business has blown up, the best-selling coffee on Amazon. Chris Green, huge. You guys, huge. Lily, her business is exploding, man. You haven't caught up with her in a while, dude. She's just like insane, off the charts. Just so many. Ryan Rieger, right, and Elaine, and just some powerhouses in there. Nancy Alexander, just people doing great stuff. So that was, and you guys were all kind of peers at the time, but I was the guy who'd been doing it a little bit longer. But it was a great dynamic. It really was. But I may have to do that again, because it really did launch some powerful things. And I'm very proud of the time that we spent together.
It's truly a testimonial to what who you are and what you were able to put together. Everybody that came out of that mastermind group is a success story, and I know even to this day, which is 2 years, 3 years later, I don't remember when we did that, but we all kind of still hold each other accountable, kind of check on each other. Montana Portis, look at her, how she's growing.
Oh, yeah, dude, right, yeah. Exploded. Yeah, it just exploded, took off. She's dominating her niche. And I'll share a little bit about the thing we beat you up on. Is that okay? I remember specifically.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's fine.
It was fun. And, to your credit, you took it. Some people just aren't coachable and others are. But the thing we saw in you, John, was you were working your candle at both ends. You were burning your candle at both ends. You were doing it all yourself. And we told you specifically, You've got to get your business to the point where you don't have to go to the office, where other people are running it, where it's growing on its own, good people in place. You can take trips without shutting down your operation, right? And ideally, I remember this exact phrase. I've used it many times since, and I've used it before, but you're only doing the stuff. You want to finish it? You're only doing the stuff that what?
I'm only doing stuff that I need to do.
That only you can do. Exactly.
Right.
You're only doing the stuff that only you can do. That's a beautiful place to be. And then what is that? Well, it's creativity, leadership, and relationships. At the end of the day, if you're looking for the stuff that only you can do, those are the three things: creativity, leadership, relationships. You can't outsource relationships. You'll never want to completely outsource creativity. You always want to be the creative leader of your operation. And leadership. You can't outsource leadership. You'll always be, until you sell your business, you're going to be the leader of your business, and you need to embrace that role and take it seriously. The culture starts with you. So you can't outsource to someone else, making sure we have a nice positive culture in our business. So creativity, leadership, and relationships will always be on you as the leader. But everything else can be done by somebody else. And you guys were working your fingers to the bone, putting in way too many hours, building a business that you were proud of, and it was good. But that's what we beat you up on.
Yeah, and I remember that CES too, when I told you, I said, I'm going to be. Do you remember that? Where Esther, my family, we were all at CES too, and we told you that the business was operating and we weren't there. That was just an amazing feeling.
The sense of pride of just checking the numbers. You've reduced it down to numbers. Isn't that a beautiful feeling, right? And pretty much every business model we teach, that's possible. Now, when you start off, it's you doing the work. But very quickly, you want to use your money to invest in good help. $10 to $12 an hour jobs should be being done by someone who's willing to take $10 to $12 an hour. And some people will say, well, Jim, I'm just not profitable enough to pay someone else. Well, that's because you have a terrible business model. Fix it. If you can't pay someone $10 to $12 an hour to do the $10 to $12 an hour work, you don't have a business, you have a job. And you'd be better off getting a job with benefits somewhere. I mean, come on, seriously, you're willing to settle for $10 to $12 an hour? No. You need to have something sustainable that's growing, that you can pay someone $10 to $12 an hour and still put money in the bank and have someone else doing the work. And there's a lot of people out there who'd be thrilled with part-time $10, $15 an hour work. They're everywhere.
Yeah. Not so much in Tennessee.
That's
one of the biggest
stay-home moms. You give them a percentage. That's one of the things we're doing is we're paying our workers a percentage of profits.
Mm-hmm.
I just interviewed Brian Young here a few days ago, and they've got their book selling business is blowing up, and they're doing great, and they're teaching our community how to do these things, and they give their workers basically a per book. Like, here's the kind of books we're looking at, go find them, we'll pay you per book. And he has workers making $1,000 a week working part-time because they've got the exact parameters, got the exact tools. They're very thrilled. So don't even necessarily have to be about hourly. I love profit sharing because it means I'm making money. There's profits to share. That's awesome. I love profit sharing. It keeps the employee fired up, gets them energized and excited about the business. And it doesn't reduce it all down to just a drudgery for them. The harder they work and the more results they get, more importantly, results, they're going to get paid more money. In the business models we're talking about, that can easily be built in. We've got a question from Yvette, newbie listening to excitement about Q4. Having trouble getting it, sourcing. Just keep sourcing. It's this simple, Yvette. It's this simple. Use the free Amazon Seller app. Put it on your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, I really encourage you to get one. It makes this so much easier. Get a smartphone. Get on one of these good data plans where you can go out and you can scan barcodes. Start off at local retail stores. Maybe there's some retail stores that aren't chains near you. Those are some really good places. Or thrift stores. You can start with books, but just scan, and be looking for items that you can buy super cheap that are selling well on Amazon at much higher prices. That's what you're looking for. Just get your feet wet. It's the easiest business model ever to exist, online especially. It's the easiest model online. So it doesn't cost you hardly anything to get going. That's as easy as I can make this. You just got to get out there and scan. and you may scan 50 things without seeing anything that's of anything or worth value. But then you'll come across a stack of stuff in a closeout aisle somewhere, and they've got 30 of them, and they're $10 each, and you can sell them for 50 on Amazon. And before you buy them, always, always, always ask the manager for a discount. Say, hey, if I were to buy all of these, what could you do for me on the price? Make them name a number first. And more often than not, the manager will say, sorry, we can't do anything. But about 30% of the time, they will say, how's $5 pop sound? And you'll say, how about 3? And they'll say, 4 is a deal. Done. So instead of paying $10, you're paying $4 a pop now. And you're going to flip them on Amazon. You're off to the races. You send those boxes into Amazon. Amazon sells them for you, sends you a check. That's the business model. Rinse and repeat. Grow from there. The opportunities are everywhere. We're getting success stories every day. In John's community, in my community, this is a legitimate business model that's in its infancy. And you don't have to go buy a $5,000 course to do this. Now, we've got some great coaches. I'd love to help you out if you want some one-on-one attention, and we can get you into some very powerful strategies. But for the vast majority of people, all they need is what I just said. Get out there, scan some stuff. Make it happen. Someone wants to know how they can get in touch with you tonight or tomorrow. Robert.
I'm John Jr.'s email. I just put it up there.
I got you. There we go. So what are the questions you got? I'm going to have to wrap up here soon. I'm going to have a car full of kids pulling in my driveway any minute now. House is going to get a little crazy. 5 kiddos, man.
I just wanted to help Yvette a little bit more. Yvette, if you're not familiar with Jim puts out a chart like once every couple of months that actually gives you the guidelines too of the 1 to 3% type categories. I personally, in fourth quarter, don't go any deeper than 3%. More likely, I'm going to buy something that I scan, and it comes up in that 1% category. So that can help you, too, if you're having frustration of finding things. That's going to do it. However, I may go 5% or higher if it's an item that I see that there's very little competition on Amazon, and it's costing me $5 going for $70, and then the margins are there. I may take a shot and do that because there's very little competition. And I know in fourth quarter, just about anything, if it's not nailed down, sells.
Yeah, exactly. Just to rephrase exactly what you just said, if you're brand new to all of this, do pay attention to the product rank. Obviously, a product ranked number 1 in its category on Amazon means that it's selling a lot every day. It's the number 1 bestseller in that category. Well, if a product is ranked 5 million in a category, that means it's moving far, far slower. So pay attention. And when John said top 3%, well, if there's 100 products in a category, the top 3% would be the top 3 best sellers. So you want to be in that top 1 to 3% ideally. If you're in the top 1 to 3% of any category, that product's going to move very quickly for you. Top 5 to 10%, it's going to move eventually as a general rule. These aren't hard, fast rules. You'll feel your way through this. But you can also check on eBay. I love checking eBay's. This is free. You just do an advanced search on eBay and see, is this a popular item? How much is it selling for on eBay? How quickly are they selling? Because you can search completed listings on eBay. So few people do this. It's so powerful. Because if it's hot on eBay, I guarantee you it's hot on Amazon. Because Amazon gets far more shoppers. But if you find a product that's hot on eBay, dude, it's hot on Amazon, I promise you. And eBay's easy to research and see what kind of sales volume is happening. You search completed listings, and Amazon and eBay will show you, hey, the last 30 days, here's all the widgets that were listed. They put them in a certain color if they were sold and another color if they didn't sell. And you can just see how many sold, how many didn't, how many people are selling it, how much interest is there in that item. And if it's not selling on eBay, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But if it is selling on eBay, you know you've got a winner. Every time, 100%. So that's just a little research tip for you, simple research tip.
Yeah, absolutely. eBay's completed listings is a huge, huge thing that you should be looking at, especially in fourth quarter, because a lot of people don't realize that eBay does very well in fourth quarter. I mean, it may not be like Amazon, but it's still a viable, good secondary income.
Oh, yeah. Our eBay sales are picking up already for the fourth quarter. We're seeing it. That one-off item, it's got a little dented box or a scratched corner or whatever, that's where we send it. Off to eBay it goes, and we tell them right in the description, hey, little dented corner, sorry about the box damage, product is brand new. We do that all day on eBay.
Yeah, we do most of our LIT stuff on eBay. That's a great market for LIT.
Right. Linda Tyler, she was at CES, man. She's doing great. She's another one that's just doing great from our community, man. I think we're gonna.
But I know you got to get going,
okay?
and we're running over the time that I told you that we'd do this. I know that you spent here with us tonight, and guys, I hope you appreciate Jim taking the time out. Jim's a very, very busy person, and even for me, who's part of his group and partners with him, it's not as easy to get a hold of Jim as it used to be. He's getting more and more popular all the time and doing great things. And,
same with you, man. Same with you. You guys are doing great. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of our partnership and proud of all the work you guys are doing. And you guys are the leaders of the prep and ship community now, which is just incredible. So you guys got to be at CES next year. Okay, man. Got to have you back. Sorry you missed this one.
We're looking to go next year. I don't know where you're having it yet. You haven't announced it yet, but
haven't. Very soon we will. It will be September 2017, and we'll be letting everyone know earlier than we ever have before this time, so that everyone can mark their calendars and plan. And everyone's going to love this destination that we've got. It's going to be a really good time. But that announcement is coming soon. So.
Yeah. And I like the fact that you're going to be doing the smaller regional. That's the type of thing that I've already been talking about for a while now, is to bring in those little niche type things, because CES is great, but CES is an overwhelming experience of information where you come out of there with information overload. So doing it with those niche type breakdown things, I think is great, and that's something I'm looking at.
Yeah, smaller meetup type thing. We are going to do a few 50, 60 person intensive 2 or 3 day event kind of thing. We've got some of those we're going to be announcing out very soon as well. So more exclusive, more one-on-one attention.
Absolutely. Let me know where they are, and I'll be sure I'm going to be promoting them too.
Oh, appreciate that. Awesome. Well, yeah, but there will always only be one CES per year. I've committed to that, and we've talked about, do we want to do East Coast and West Coast every 6 months? No. One per year. It's kind of like Christmas. You wish there was more than one a year sometimes, but sorry, there's only one a year. So that's what CES is. That's all we can handle. We're not in the event planning business around here. It takes a lot of work, man, to pull that thing together, and I don't want to stress my team out. But yeah, one a year, and it'll be September 2017. Mark it on your calendar. We'll let you know the exact dates. And I can say this towards the second half of September. I even know that. So mark out those weekends, second half of September. But this has been great. This has been a really good time. Thank you to everyone who hung out, and be sure to thank John for this. Great job pulling this together. Love your webinar series, man. You guys are doing some good stuff. So, but I think I'll let you get, man. Is that cool?
Yeah. Hey, it's been a pleasure talking to you again, and I look forward to talking to you at some point again in the future. And give my best to Andrea and the boys and your daughter. We missed him too. I know Esther misses Chase.
Yes. Yeah. Is it Chase? They've hung out quite a bit and talked quite a bit. Yeah. Say hey to Esther for me and the crew and your end as well.
Yeah, she misses Ty. She always likes to talk to him.
Ty, yeah, our little Chinese guy, man. He's doing great. Yeah. He just did so good at CES. He's coming along really, really well.
Yeah, I saw her in the post where he's reading and doing things like that. I'm just you got to be so proud.
Yeah, we're blessed, man, and get to be with the crew every day right here in the house. I mean, I'm sitting right here, and my kids are actually just walking in. So,
all right,
time to go be dad. But man, God bless you guys. Thanks for the time. Talk to you soon, John. See you later.
Okay, bye bye.